What's up, guys?
Hey.
Jeremy, Brandon here from friendofrc.com giving you our review of the Spektrum Dx6i. This is for you flight nerds. I mean, people who like flight. And because I just recently had my maiden voyage in which...
Give him a round of applause. He did not crash the plane.
That's right. But I was buddy boxed with Brandon, and he saved me some...
I didn't have to take it. Oh, maybe once.
Yeah, a few times. But anyway, I enjoyed it very much, and this is actually the particular remote, which is now currently held together with a body pin that we used. Yeah, this is custom RC Nightmare mod right here.
Yeah,
I mean,
pending,
RC Flight School patent pending. So, as with all reviews, we'll start out with the technical. From what I know about the Dx6i, it's an affordable option for first-time flyers. Other than that, Brandon's going to have to take you home.
All right, guys. If you're flying more than one plane, you want this remote. Why? Well, just like in ground remotes, you have model memory. And in planes, it's a little bit more sensitive than cars because you got more than 2 channels. Usually cars, steering, throttle, all your programming. In a plane, you got 4 or more, so all that programming leads to a lot of extra time. So if you don't have a computer radio that has 10 model memory, you're going to sit there every time setting up all your little trims and clicks to get one plane ready. You got to have a computer radio. This is the lowest entry-level one that Spektrum makes, but it's actually quite capable. It does have a full pixelated screen. Like I said, 10 model memory. It can handle helicopters, all swash plate types. It's got dual rates, exponential. You can program your throttle and pitch curves for helicopters as well. You got plenty of switches to play around with. 3 dual rate switches, your mix switches, as well as throttle hold and a trainer switch.
And a gun switch. Insert the crickets.
It could shoot a gun. Yeah.
When I was flying our slow stick, I was kind of envisioning firing missiles with these. I was like, in my head, I was like, fire!
In your defense, real flight does use that switch as shooting guns on the simulator.
Yeah.
So maybe that's where you got it from.
But I never used a simulator.
Just say you did.
I use a simulator. So. I like the little handle thingy here for setting it down, for attaching your strap. It's really nice, honestly. It's a full model memory readout, so it doesn't just say give you 2 or 3 letters. You can see if it's the Trojan T28D or the slow stick or whatever.
Yeah, you get 8 characters to program in.
So cost of operation, it's a great buy for a first-time flyer, or even just somebody who's an affordable flyer, like a park flyer guy or gal.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't need much more than this if you're entry level. I mean, you don't need to be rocking a Futaba or anything like that. Very durable because it's a Spektrum. I mean, we've had this. It's all scratched up, basically. It's held together by a body pin. Works fine. Fun factor, I guess, being the gateway to flight makes it fun.
Yeah, you gotta have a good remote if you're gonna enjoy flying. Lower quality remotes or lower feature remotes make for a more frustrating flight experience because you can't play around with it. But at the same time, if you're a beginner and you're a complete noob, you don't even know how to program in or know what dual rates and expo mean, you're not going to know how to use them. So maybe you want to do a little research first.
Well, and this is going to have the model match recognition as well as obviously 2.4 gigahertz DSM, and so it's going to give you. I keep pressing these buttons.
I told you you're not allowed to press the button.
This is why I'm not allowed to fly. But it performs exactly like you'd want it to.
Yeah, it's a 4-inch remote, so you could use this all the way up to your giant models if you want to get in some big helicopters. The only thing you don't get when having this one over, say, the DX7 or DX8, more switches and then more throttle and pitch curve points to program in. If you know what that means, you don't need them. The 6 is an awesome remote. It handles everything we fly here. The only thing I have that's above this is the Futaba 7, and we'll probably review that later and show you the differences. But great remote. Honestly, 99% of the people flying probably only need this kind of remote.
That's right. Most people buy remotes based on what they think they need and not what they actually need. And I can understand why people would do that because it's nothing worse than buying a remote and then 2 months later buying another one because you didn't buy enough. But honestly, this Dx6i, while it is an economic alternative to something like DX7, it's got everything you need. And so if I would go back, I would absolutely buy it again. I wouldn't see myself buying a DX7 even today, just because I don't do a heck of a lot. I mean,
yeah, absolutely, and I would absolutely buy one again. A Spektrum radio, especially a programmable one, is something every serious flyer should probably have in their arsenal. They have so many bind and fly models out there now that you'd be throwing your money away to try to buy everything else without a receiver.
Yeah.
You know, buying another receiver for it. Their bind and fly stuff is dirt cheap, and a radio like this allows you to buy up all these planes and quickly bind them and take them out and fly them. They got an awesome thing going with the whole Spektrum system. And
They have,
Love
are
it.
they about what you'd find in the park flyers too? Like the ones that are bind and fly, those come with Spektrum stuff in them?
yeah, right.
Yeah,
If it's
that's
bind and
what I'm
fly, it's Spektrum equipment. Everything down to like the tiny helicopters. If you go to RC Flight School, our YouTube channel, you will see that I'm flying the smallest helicopter they sell on this, as well as huge planes. I could fly the FPV tricopter on this thing. It's very capable.
Yeah.
It can do it all. So awesome radio.
Well, if you have any questions about the DX6i and its applications, post them up on down below or shoot on over to our website at rcnightmare.com. Thanks.
See you
Bye.
guys.